Hello everyone, we are now live. Apologies for the lack of sound, that should be starting up soon. There we go. So as always, we will be starting at about the 5-minute mark for gameplay. We may do some chatting here beforehand, but that's it. Apologies, just fiddling with some settings here, which is why the sound cut out. There we go. Hi Leander, good to see you. Hello viewers. We'll be getting started in just a couple minutes here. This time we are going to be redoing the Battle of Hastings historical battle from the beginning. But while we're waiting for things to start, I'm going to quickly make sure that I've got my timeline of Hastings correct, so I can actually talk about that. Edward, that's Edward. Also Edward the Confessor. And he passed away in 1066. Okay. Okay. I think I've got it ready. I've found the right page in the thing. So let me just keep looking at this, keep looking at what's going on there. Okay, Harold. And then that changes. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient. We are now going to get started. I found the information I needed to in order to actually talk about the historical battle and where things are going on. So, we'll get started from the beginning of the Battle of Hastings. This will be for like the first, 45 minutes repeat of last stream, basically. We'll be playing through the same things, but I'll try and do it faster.
Mercenaries and Norman knights look dubiously at the ships that wobble in the black, fog-choked sea. What man is this Duke William to put so many horses on leaky transports? William ignores their questioning glances and stares across the channel in the direction of England. Edward the Confessor is dead, and now 3 men claim rulership of England. Harold the Saxon sits on the English throne, and even now hastens to fortify his shores against 2 invasions. Harald Hardrada, king of Denmark and Norway, sends Vikings from the north as William invades from the south. The outcome of this 3-way conflict is as murky as the fog that shrouds the English Channel. Harold the Saxon's housecarls are professional soldiers, not mercenaries. William's only chance is to use heavy cavalry. To do so, he must first get all of his horses onto these unreliable boats. The future of England is about to be decided.
Okay. Here we go. So, I've got a little more information about Hastings this time. mostly drawing on the annals of Roger of Hoveden, who was writing it in the 13th century, so quite a bit after Hastings, but he's the primary source I have, so I don't have to tab out of the stream here and cut out the sound. So we're going to rely on his account of it most of the time. I know he's borrowing off of the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle and off of Henry of Huntington, so he's coming off the other English sources, not so much the Frankish sources for Hastings. Anyway, so our objectives are to conquer England, easy, and William must not die. So the population limit of 125, not a big deal. The Isle of Wight along England's southern shore is a safe staging ground for your invasion, and be watchful of Saxon raids. So, right here we already actually have a little bit of a cool reference. Roger of Hoveden, for the entry for 1066, says, in the meantime, King Harold came to the port of Sandwich, and there waited for his fleet, which, when it had assembled, came to the Isle of Wight, and as William, Duke of the Normans, the cousin of King Edward, was making preparations to invade England with an army, all the summer and autumn he was waiting his arrival, and besides kept a land force in suitable positions near the seashore. However, on the approach of the Nativity of St. Mary in August, their provisions failing, the fleet and the land force returned home. So the Isle of Wight was actually one of the worst, most dangerous places for William through most of 1066, through the first part of this game. It is not a safe staging ground, it's actually where Harold Godwinson was staging his army to counterattack Normandy. Anyway, we also have a large town in northern France. We have a few enemy marauders, but we've got some huscarls floating around here. We've also got a Saxon navy, so the navy will try and protect the army. We can either try to defeat the shipyards before laying siege near London, and then we've got the armies of Harold Hardrada, or in Norse Hardrauva. So all those D's are actually L's, and the second A in Rada is actually Au in modern Icelandic. So literally a Hard of Council, or Stern Council. Pretty badass of a name, to be honest. They're at war with Harold Godwinson, but can they be trusted? Excellent question. We'll find out. Hi, William.
The Saxons have the British Isles well fortified. We need to transport our knights across the channel and use them to defend our buildings. Norman castles should hold back the Saxon tide, both here and on Britain.
Okay, so they're just saying Norman knights exist. Pretty cool. While, like, obviously knights did exist at this point, that is how that works, they were hardly the only place, Actually, we should be pretty safe to build the lumber camp in here. These two are both going to help out on that, and then the next guy is going to work on the rest of it. Anyway, knights at this point definitely look nothing like the knights here. We have reasonably reliable accounts of this coming off the Bayeux Tapestry, but generally not super clear how that is going. Regardless, though, it's clear. Based off the depictions... thank you, talking. What is clear from the imagery in the Bayeux Tapestry and elsewhere is that the weaponry and armor at that point is basically chainmail. No stirrups, no other indications of...
William of Normandy, you and I have no quarrel. It's Harold the Saxon who's the enemy of us both. If you declare me an ally, I'll do likewise with thee.
Okay, last time, there's actually something will change. We're actually not going to ally with Harold Hardrada, because there's very little point, and we're going to pretend to be historically accurate for a change. we are mostly Harold Hardrada, historically, at that time, was very much not an ally to William of Normandy. He was a claimant to the English throne by the coincidence that Harold Godwinson's brother, Earl Tosti, basically promised him the throne. Was like, hey, I do not like my brother, and if you come help me out, I will go take on my brother so we don't have to worry about that. Which was just not... I mean, Harold was totally cool with that idea. But... well, I wouldn't say that he was a particularly legitimate claimant to the throne at all. Additionally, nay, there you are. They would have eventually come into conflict had Harold Hardrada not died at the Battle of Stamford Bridge. It would have simply been that Harold Godwinson had lost that battle and had died, that they would have to go take themselves on. Okay, we'll take on these guys, and take out this guy. And now they take on the tower. There we go. Anyway. Harold Godwinson and Harold Hardrada and William of Normandy would have ended up being in battle with each other had it not been the case that Harold Hardrada died at Stamford Bridge, along with Tostig. If those two had survived, it would have just continued. Oop, let's take out the Huscarl first. Alright, William's a one-man army, here we go. But that should let us build another lumber camp out here. Rather than worry too much about the other places, we can just keep doing that. Now, the one-man army is doing his thing happily, so... should be okay there. We are way behind schedule though, or way behind everyone else in terms of power, so a little bit of annoyance, but nothing too major. What I would like is to get a stable up very quickly, so we can start building just more knights. We don't need to worry too much about the rest of it, but I do want more knights. And yeah, past that, we're just in a resource gathering phase. Things are gonna stay pretty quiet here. This is functionally very early in 1066, where the battles are still not super clear. So, while William is currently beating up a Saxon watchtower, let's talk about why Harold thought that this was a fine thing to do in the first place. Or why William the Conqueror thought this was a fine thing to do in the first place, I should say. William the Conqueror was the cousin of Edward the Confessor, the King of England, up until early in the year 1066. Edward the Confessor was the son of Ethelred Unrad, or poorly counselled, but also translated as unready. It's the literal cognate to the Old English is unready. It's better translated as ill-counselled. But, and he definitely was. the Earls of England, including Godwin, Harold's father, were not very good at this, at telling him how to deal with the Viking raids of the end of the 10th century. So he wound up being driven into Normandy for a while, then came back in 1014 and had a son with the Princess of Normandy, Emma, who was a historical badass, true technical term. And then from there it became pretty easily clear. We have some idle people. We don't want that. Let's start that, and then you can, I guess, go... Oh, where's our stone? Or go get more wood. More food, more wood. Anyway, Emma of Normandy, her sister was William the Bastard's mother. William's title at this point is in fact William the Bastard. He is the illegitimate son of... I believe it's Emma's sister, actually. I don't know that for sure. Let me double check that. It may be that his father had an affair, and that is... Who was his father? Was Robert the Magnificent. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it is. His sister should be, Emma of Normandy is the sister. Let me check that again. Robert Magnificent. And it doesn't say it. Of course, the family trees only do the male line. That's annoying. Why does that? Oh, that's why. It's one generation up, it looks like. Really? That far? Is that... Okay. That does look right. Emma of Normandy died 1052, right? Give me just a moment here. Yeah, okay, so... I was off by a generation. Emma of Normandy is the sister of William's grandfather. Edward the Confessor is her son. And so... Well, it works out pretty well for them. We do still need to make more buildings. Here we go. Going to make a blacksmith. We still already have a blacksmith. There we go. We're just cleaning out all of Harold's raiders before they can possibly cause problems. And past that, it's going to be fine. Because these Huskarls are just pretty weak on their own. And for some reason they're scattered all over the place instead of trying to build up anything significant. It's a mystery. They are very mysterious. Potentially dangerous if they all got together, but on their own, you can see this is not really posing a threat to any of our Norman knights. Anyway, Emma of Normandy is the sister of William's grandfather. Her son is Edward the Confessor, so that would make them, I guess, technically his nephew instead of cousin. But somewhere in that, they're definitely family. As such, William has a legitimate claim on the throne of England. Not a super strong claim, but a definitely legitimate one. And this gets strengthened by the fact that he gets the promise from Harold Godwinson in 1065 that Harold Godwinson will support William's claim to the throne of England. The reason why he gets this claim is that he was shipwrecked. Harold Godwinson was shipwrecked in France, and William ransoms him. When he finds out that it's Harold Godwinson that's been captured, William ends up ransoming him immediately and telling him, hey, like, the Earl who was holding William hostage, like, hey, don't do that. You don't need to do that. And then treats Harold fairly well while in Normandy, and goes, you know, you'll support me if I go to press my claim on England when Edward dies, right? Harold recognizes that he doesn't really have a choice in the matter, and swears an oath that yes, he will. As soon as he leaves, he declares that oath invalid because it was coerced, because obviously you can't say no. He wasn't going to say no when he's in the French court with no supporters in his camp. William didn't take kindly to that, actually, and wound up saying, hey, this is not cool. You swore an oath, now you are acting unjustly by rejecting this oath. Which, fair enough. There's definitely legitimate disagreement as to where that fits. Okay, let's build one more thing here. I think maybe a siege engine workshop down on the south side of town. And make sure these guys are doing okay. If these guys could build up, we'd have problems, but you can see already we are accelerating rapidly in terms of progress here. We're now already third, even though we've done basically nothing. We should, however, be... well, we're short food. Once we have more food, we should already be good to get up into the Imperial Age. So, with that, we'll have Harold, William do some things. Come on guys. Why are we getting attacked by people? Also, why were they all going north? For some reason, a whole bunch of pikemen just ran away from the knights, and I'm kinda spooked by that. I hope they aren't attacking me. I'll build a couple more knights for safety. Though I don't know that knights are the best solution. Oops. Battering ram, there we go. One battering ram should be plenty. We'll just tell it to go attack there immediately. Anyway, we're just waiting on food in order to get up to the rest of it. So we'll have our idle villager also become a farmer. Lots of farmers. I'm definitely slow on the farmers, but doing okay on the rest of it. Cool, and that guy's in progress, and those knights are in progress. Here, we'll have William do his own thing while these knights kind of just exist. Oh, those are siege engines. That's arguably bad for William, but he doesn't super care. There we go. These pikemen are definitely worse for him, though only one of those is a pikeman. There we go. No problem. William's really freaking strong. He just took on 7 guys and won with almost a third of his health left. Almost. Meanwhile, these knights seem to be pretty chill, so we'll send them down this way to go exploring. Then we got some food bushes there for more oomph. And a bunch of people that we attacked. Oh, well. That's arguably no good. Should probably protect that guy. Should probably protect our siege engine. Even though scout cavalry are terrible, as you can see, not really a threat here at all. Yay. We're just cleaning out Harold's raiders. I want them to not exist as soon as possible, just so that they can't surprise me with anything. Now, one character who doesn't appear in this scenario, as far as I can tell, that I wish did, is the Earl Tostig Godwinson, i.e. Harold's brother, and generally not a friendly person. Oh. That's no good. All of my knights just died. That's very no good. That's alright. That is completely alright. Hopefully, the battering ram here that is almost dead will not die. Not sure on that. We'll see. Hi Newborn, or glad you can join us. That's annoying. I'm sorry that it appears that it decided to be a pain for you. I'll be honest, at this point I can't just stay logged in on this account so I don't have to worry about that. So as you can see, we are doing the Hastings historical battle. Oh, were they asking for all sorts of authentication? That is frustrating. Yep, as you can see though, we're doing the Hastings historical battle, and I'm kind of talking about the actual history of Hastings and why that's a big deal, and what actually happened. So what I was just saying now is that I wish Harold Godwinson's brother Tostig had actually been mentioned, because Tostig is kind of a nuisance for all of Harold Godwinson's reign. Never a huge nuisance, just always enough of one. Tostig is the kind of tiny. Oh gosh, that's a whole row of Husk girls. That's not good. We'll run away from them. We'll run away from that very quickly. Oh boy. Don't know when they came in, but you know, that's cool. 4 knights plus William against like 8 things. Let's do it. We might just have to kite really hard. No, 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 no. William's gonna die. William's gonna die. Shit. Could they not route terribly? Holy god. Okay, keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running, keep running. Luckily we are way faster than them, and we should beat them through the gate. Quite easily, actually. This is why I like cavalry in this game. Cavalry are fast, and that is really, really damn important. That being said, go garrison inside, please. Wow, they're just gonna stop. Okay. Also, let's do that, because we kind of need that, and let's start researching the Imperial Age. I'm sure they're going to come around this side quite soon, because that makes no sense otherwise. But that's okay, we're now working on a whole bunch of stuff. These guys are actually all fine, so they'll come out here. And they are going to build faster now. Awesome. While Harold heals, hopefully very quickly. Let's use one of our villagers here, instead of mining the rest of the gold. We don't super need that. Let's build a monastery. Also, I didn't give my cavalry armor, despite being a cavalry-focused group. Amazing. I'm smart. I'm very good at this. Anyway, throwing axemen all suck, so we're not going to worry about them. And the university, we could upgrade those, Let's research ballistics, that's helpful. And we'll immediately get to herbal medicine, because healing up, that is kind of super important. Because if William dies, we just lose, and that was way too close for comfort there. But we've got now overwhelming force, so we'll do better this time. Oh, good, Lander, I'm glad to hear that. If for some reason someone came from somewhere other than the Overly Sarcastic Productions Discord, yesterday I wound up giving a lecture on the current pandemic situation, which I'm glad to hear was not too badly panicky. Upgrade to Cavaliers, thank you. Because obviously I don't want it to be panicky. Oh, then you missed all the bad news, Leander. Don't worry, packing went well today, which means I will probably give that again tomorrow. Not entirely persuaded on that, but I will definitely try to give this again tomorrow. Give the lecture again tomorrow, just to make sure as many people can see that as possible, because I think a lot of that is important information. Amazing, of course. He knew I was doing that, and yet he still decided to accidentally do a metal concert. Amazing. Whatever. Yeah. There will be another one. Yeah. I'll try and host that again as soon as possible, so hopefully tomorrow evening. Because, yeah, I think that's important information for people to have, and information that I'm able to actually provide pretty effectively, so, yeah. Huh. I wonder where, like, all of these guys went. This is pretty spooky. I'm not sure where all of the everyone actually went. Anyway, version range, heresy, sanctity, not super important, blacksmith stuff, thing, okay, not enough gold. Crap, I need to find more gold. I don't have any right now. That's kind of frustrating. But also not a necessarily huge deal. Yeah, exactly. We'll just hire Robin Hood to make the, yeah. Us, the richest man in this part of the world, realistically, he's not quite, but he's pretty close to the richest person There, we'll just hire Robin Hood and he'll steal from someone who has a stronger claim on the English throne than we do. Wait. Huh. Great plan. No way that'll backfire. Okay, seriously, where did this unit of Huskarls go? Also that, yeah. Not only... Okay, there's more gold. No big deal. This pikeman could be scary, except we have a lot of cavaliers. Oh, there we go, there's the attack. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be more than able to do that. He'll just love that idea. Definitely wasn't like this Richard guy that's coming up later. He definitely isn't strongly opposed to France in general. Just the concept of France, or anything. Richard the Lionheart and the King of France at that time, Philip Augustus, did not get along. Though Richard the Lionheart was Duke of Normandy. Prince John wasn't. At first. He eventually was, but that was after he kind of, lost Normandy. In a series of bad fights after Richard died. So that was not super brilliant of him. Anyway, we can build a... we can go over here and we can build a dock right here. Cool. And we've cleared out that. So now the question is, where the heck did those Huskarls go? Because Harold's Raiders are basically no longer exist. And they'll never be a threat again. So where did all those French Huskarls go? I'm gonna send my knights up this way. William can join them again, because he's fine now. And these three are going to start making another mining camp way down there, where there was gold. Oh man, this is the remastered Call Mechas. So they've released a new version of it that is exactly the same, but with all the DLC attached. It's amazing. It definitely has not gotten less fun over time. Like, this is still so good. We'll probably end up doing more Age of Empires here soon, though I'm starting to run out of things that I'm super familiar with. Because I've already done the 3 historical battles, well this is the 3rd one, of the time periods that I am familiar with. So that'll be fun. Anyway, where the heck did they go? Oh, hi, there's someone up on the bluffs there. Okay. A few more of these guys. Just a few more. Theoretically, like, they're actually pretty... Oh, shit. Apparently there they are. Well, we'll try and get that done before that thing dies. So they have loaded back into ships. How frustrating. How deeply frustrating. I don't know that we'll finish this before all these Huskarls cause a whole lot of problems. That would be sad. Hey Ray! Yep. We failed. Hopefully they won't outrun my guys all the way over to these villagers. Please don't. That would be sad. That would be really sad. Whatever, we should also build a new villager here. We'll also build a monk so that they can do things, and we'll research further, and... Theocracy is pretty good, but also not that urgent. Okay, they loaded back into ships and have screwed me over. Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, we'll actually remember to guard our dock this time, I guess. I don't know. Seems like a weird idea to me, but okay. Oh, we should also build a market after we build the dock. My goal is to kind of just settle in here, and then we can go and explore all of this. There they are. Hello. We got them. This time. And we are... Okay, if we protect the dock this time, we should be able to actually get our galleys and our fire ships up and start taking control of these seas, because... Oh boy, it's annoying when we aren't able to see anything, because... Oh, fine. Stop it. And William can stand here and can take on... I see more Huskarls. I don't know how I missed this guy. I definitely explored this area. Weird. So, very strange. I think we may have gotten them all now, though. Because now it's just walls as far as I can tell. Anyway. These, and then a bunch of war galleys. And a bunch of fire galleys. And we'll just set that there. And William is going to keep going exploring, because William is a strong independent ruler who don't need no army. We've also pretty much explored the entire coast of Normandy now, which is pretty handy for me. Let's see, what else can we build? I should get a wonder victory in this historical battle, right? That'd be worthwhile. Don't need anything there, don't need anything here. But we will build barracks and an archery range inside, because that is about time. And the war galleys are up. Great. Great. Oh, what the... That wasn't right. I can also upgrade these to galleons at the end of this, which would give me complete sea superiority. I'm the only one in the Imperial Age, which means that everyone else is way behind the curve. To be honest. Everyone else is way behind the curve. And... Ha! My Cavaliers are trying so hard. I believe in them. Ah, I still can't get Paladins. I can do that though for pretty cheap. Frustrating. Anyway, there are the... Cool. University. I've got one of those, I should do something with it. Don't need that, don't really need any of these, but you know. We'll do that. And then we'll do that. Anyway, this group is just going to go exploring, because that's all we need them to do. We'll keep a couple fire ships here to make sure no one else can do anything too funky. Oh, apologies, that probably did something weird on the stream. Let me know if things went weird and the dimensions are screwed up. It accidentally changed the dimensions. Oh yeah, next step is definitely find the coast of Britain and start screwing it over. William already was pretty aware of, like, everything about England, because his grandfather's sister was the Queen of England. Emma Regina, certified badass. Let's talk more about Emma, because she's cool, and gets too overshadowed by all the men around her. Emma... Hang on, let's build a few of these. Emma was the Queen of England in the end of the 10th century and for much of the first part of the 11th century. I believe she married Ethelred in like somewhere around the year 1000 and wound up lived until 1052. Okay, like take this thing out. Don't be dumb. But yeah, she's a hugely talented diplomat and at navigating court politics. So she winds up being married to Ethelred Unred, Ethelred the Unready. He gets exiled to Normandy, flees to her family. She supports him through that, while Svein Forkbeard is the takes control of London. Svein dies. Ethelred comes back with an army of Norman, mostly Norman infantry, and then he dies unexpectedly in 1016 as Canute the Great starts coming in, starts his invasion of England in revenge for his father. So, Emma, being politically savvy, and Canute also. Oh no. Why? Hello? We'll just unload them down here. Exactly. She also did in fact happen to be the reason why William the Bastard has a legitimate claim on the English throne. But yeah, Canute the Great marries Emma to increase his legitimacy because she is the Queen of England. That's just good practice. He ends up lucking out really hard because of this, because she is incredibly effective as a queen and as someone who has to corral nobles. So she does. She spends a whole lot of time corralling nobles. And doing that is just so effective that she actually has a royal biography commissioned and dedicated to her that the rest of them just aren't even close. So this text is called the Encomium Emmae Reginae, so the encomium of Queen Emma, and is honestly an amazing Latin piece of Latin literature, but is also a biography telling the history of Emma's deeds and of... Oh gosh, no. I didn't want to do that. This is awkward. Guess what? I'm at war with Harold now. Or with Harold or Harder now. Good thing he wasn't good to begin with. Well, this is awkward. While Haraldur Hardrauda and oh, there we go, let's take these guys on. Boop, and boop. While Haraldur Hardrauda and William were definitely not allies, they also were not really enemies and did not spend a whole lot of time trying to wipe each other out like this. So, this is a whoops. They should probably spend less time trying to knock this guy out, and more time trying to do anything else. Really, who was shooting it? Because that was my guy that got sunk. That's weird. Oh yeah, I agree. It absolutely would have happened if Harold had not lost... If Haraldur had not lost at Stamford Bridge. But he did, and so there's kind of limited utility in going, but what ifs about it. Okay, I should also load this guy into a boat and take him across, and we can build things somewhere else, rather than building the army up halfway in. Huh. Where did my other boat go? I should build more boats. Need more boats. Galleon. Oh, that's where this boat went. Well, that's a dumb place for you to have gone. More boats. And we will offload this guy where these guys are. And these fire ships will also go patrol up along there. And more galleons here to protect these guys. The fire ships should be pretty well competent at taking on 2 of these, honestly, because these elite fire ships are hugely impactful. And we can now focus on burning this thing to the ground. Burning those to the ground is pretty much just slows down all of... Oh, let's drop the monk too. We don't need the monk to go exploring down here. Anyway, where did I drop off the... Where did I drop off the villager? Where'd he go? Idle villager is there. Awesome. Okay, military buildings. We'll build a barracks down here. After I've cleared out all the enemies, we'll build out... Oh, that's no good. That's very no good. I wonder how he got past us. Mysterious. Well, we should build some more of these, and then one of them, and set them out here so that no one can do anything too spooky. Luckily, that's going to stop mattering before too long. So if we can slowly start working on these guys as they're in total disarray now. I did one cool thing and then just stopped thinking that was important. Anyway, we've got that. Let's build guard towers out along the coast here. Also, at the university we can upgrade those to actually be better. Food production is going well. That production is going well. These guys are all doing well. So we'll send the monk in here to heal up, and we have now surpassed the Saxon Navy, so we are actually way, way, way better than everyone else, just in general. Which is pretty cool. Feels good. It's kind of sad that down here we don't really have the resources to do a whole lot, but if we can get onto the Isle of Wight here, you can see they meant this to be pretty straightforwardly just a spot to resupply, get more stuff. We can fortify from here, and then can press up towards Hastings. Historically, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but it's worth mentioning again. Harold Godwinson was using the Isle of Wight as the place to prepare... Oh yeah, I have a bunch of these. We'll have them come in and do that, though these raids are more of a nuisance than anything. We will build another dock, because we just lost ours. But we can probably have some of these paladins. We won't send William yet, but we'll have a bunch of paladins. Nay, not William. Go get on a boat. And yeah, that is a small problem, but this team is totally competent to the job. These Huskarls are really not that scary. I mean, sorry, 18 attack versus 12 attack. It's just, they aren't that scary. Normanites appear to just be bad news in this game for things. Anyway, so yeah, all through the spring and summer of 1066, Harold Godwinson knew William was going to attack. It was pretty much inevitable. We'll just have them patrol back and forth across here. And we will... No, I won't. Screw you, Harold. Cool. They are just slow. Lovely. Lovely. So, anyway, there's a potential small problem here, namely that, What? That wasn't what I wanted to do. Cool. He is just getting trashed by this. That's amusing. This tower is super good. Glad it's coming in clutch. Let's build another galleon. Anyway, we can immediately offload the villager here, and he will build a town center. Yep, I am playing as William the Bastard, which is super fun. He is the illegitimate son. Oh, where's my idle villager? There you are. We'll build a thing up here, somewhere. Come on, the Isle of Wight has got to have a landing spot. Frustrating. I mean, the fact he is the illegitimate son of the Duke of Normandy, before him, Richard the Second, first. Technically first, or actually second. Technically, title says first. Anyway, I noticed all of my ships seem to have just stopped here for no good reason. We should definitely start fortifying the walls of Normandy. Because I'm noticing that this is kind of a problem. Anyway, we've got these guys here. My two paladins will try and protect this area, I guess. But I am noticing that there's a little bit of a lack of fortifications in case if we get attacked. While these raiders do not seem to be very scary, I don't much like that either. Yep, he is an actual illegitimate son. But he was also the only son, so he became the Duke anyway, despite, yeah, being illegitimate. Good times. Oh, we are about to get into trouble due to a suspicious lack of everything. Very suspicious lack of important resources, like... Ooh, fast fire ships. That's important. He absolutely did end up Duke by default. Lack of children does that to you. And I mean, it clearly wasn't through lack of trying. Oh look, there's a bunch of Huskarls that just died. Got him! And we should be close to London. Notice here's Dover, which actually went in 1065. Okay, you can say that. That's not true, but you can say that. And these guys will just hold up here. And we will build our whole army right there, because screw whatever history says. It's not... Oh gosh, we have no stone. That's awkward. Hi. Well, first things first then. Build a mining camp. Right here, and start gathering stone. I also should build a market. I have not done that yet. we will do that too. Well, actually, we can do that with these people. Since we can't build any watchtower or guard towers, we will just build some... We will just build a market randomly out somewhere. Where is it? Market. There it is. No, I don't care about gold, I care about stone. I care about stone, and I care about building another barracks. Build a barracks there. Anyway, the Duke, when he realizes that Harold Godwinson is there, and coerces him to give an oath saying that he will support William in his claim to the throne. Part of that deal is that... let me find the quote here. I've got it marked in my copy of Roger of Hoveden. Let me find it. That's 1100s, that's too late. Do-do-do-do-do. And in addition to this, he said, "If you will engage to aid me in this matter, and to procure for me the castle of Dover, with the well of water there, and will give your sister in marriage to one of my nobles, and promise to send her to me at the time that shall be agreed on by us, and also to accept my daughter in marriage, then you shall both receive your nephew safe and sound immediately, and your brother when I come to reign in England. And if by your aid I am firmly established in that kingdom, I promise that everything that in reason you shall ask of me, you shall obtain." William claims that this is because Edward the Confessor said that when he was young, or William says that when he was young, Edward the Confessor appointed him heir to the throne of England. This is not true. Let's just be clear on this. Well, there is very little evidence to suggest that Edward the Confessor legitimately meant for William to become the next ruler of Normandy. Anyway, let's sell some wood, and we can buy some stone. Because I want to build a castle up here as soon as I can. Military buildings, castle. For 488, and we'll build that right up past here. Huh. Who's up here? Oh, a bunch of these. Awkward. So, anyway, from that, we should be able to see, like, William, when he was looking for a foothold, was actually looking right in this area. Right here, you can see this landing ground is Dover. These are supposed to be the White Cliffs, and we're coming north in Kent here. This would be the River Thames. So London is right here. Well, clearly don't have space actually on it, because they made the entire thing gold deposits, despite I don't think there is gold in white. Actually. But they turned it all into gold mines, and stone mines, so we're going to do that instead, and help support that idea. We're also sailing up here to York to see if we can't see how Harold is doing. And see how Harold is doing. I am enemies to Harold, so... which is kind of awkward. I know. I did my best, Ray. I did my best. I put it right outside. Now, hey look, there he is. He appears to have not done anything silly. Though I am shooting at him, which is probably not great. Probably should not do that. He's just standing there. Kill him! Kill him dead! It'll be hilarious! We'll just break history more. Oh my god, I'm gonna do it. I'm actually gonna manage it because the AI is dumb. This is amazing. I wonder if he just resigns now, because Harold is dead. He died in the wrong part of the country, but, you know. Yep. Please press F to pay respects to an actually pretty cool Norse ruler who is broken by bad AI. The whims of stupid AI have betrayed him again. Oh gosh, why do I have 7? You guys gather more wood. Okay, I've got 3 here who are just useless. We will tell them to go get on a boat somewhere. Where are my boats? There are my boats. Go get on a boat. And I've got the 2, one up here, who can also help get gold, and one somewhere else, who's, I guess, can now become a farmer. Go become a farmer. We need more peasants to make farms. I wasn't expecting that to work, just to be clear. I was not expecting that to work. This arguably would screw me over, but not really. Because I am so oppressively strong in this game. Notice I am already, with almost no military to speak of, as strong as my rating is as strong as all of the Saxon forces put together. And only going to become stronger from here. I'm not doing anything in particular that makes me weaker, though, here's a fun thing. So obviously the geography here is pretty fucked, to be honest. Like, there's no other way to put it. But you can see, well, there's Calais, there's Denmark. So we rode all the way up into Denmark, and then here's supposed to be like Oslo, basically. Not even. The southern tip of Norway, what city's there? I don't remember what city's there. Oh. Huh. That's neat. And there should be people on a boat somewhere. Somewhere along the coast there should be people on a boat. We'll load these guys on a boat too. Get on a boat. Okay, now that everyone's on a boat and these guys are all doing things, we can upgrade these to 200 swordsmen, upgrade our guys to pikemen, upgrade. It was not Bergen. Bergen's way up the coast. Stavanger sounds right, but I don't know if that city was around in the past. Yeah, Bergen's like halfway up the coast of the country, though that is where Haraldur Hardrada was based in. He actually was from Bergen, more than he was at all. Ooh, actually we've got Tusk Girls coming in. Please, fight in range of the castle. God, my castles are so oppressive. Do-do-do. Let's take a look at that map. I just do not remember. My training is in Iceland, not Norway, so, yeah, Kristiansand is not there. It would be probably around, like, Stavanger. Though I think it's supposed to be Oslofjord, even though that makes no sense. Anyway, point is, the geography is pretty fucked. That we're just running rampant over way more area than we have control over. Because, realistically, William's territory ends, well, where we started is not at all right. William's territory ends about here, historically speaking. After that, you exit West Francia, and you start entering East Francia. Which is kind of unfortunate. That we then end up starting in basically German country. We end up starting in the, well, in 1066 it's already collapsed totally, but At that point, even the Ottonian dynasty has collapsed. So let's see, 1066. Who would be the Holy Roman Emperor at that time? Regardless, we actually started the Holy Roman Empire. Hello, attack the other boats, please, not the people running around Kent. Do. Please stop. You don't need to do that. Anyway, they offloaded, so these three are going to build me another stable here. And you build me... It is Henry IV at this point, okay. Okay, thank you. The Netherlands aren't for a long time yet. At this point it is still well under the control of the Salian dynasty. Also, let's cheat. Okay, well that was a fun fight. Also a fun fight, okay. I am not bothered by this. Jeez. Yep. And even longer before the Glorious Revolution. So yeah, at this point the Netherlands, though they definitely are like recognized, they are as a region with Flanders and what else would be? Burgundy at this point is still farther south, though it's starting to creep up, and there's a few other places that are starting to move around. But in general, this point is still very much looking for parts of the Holy Roman Empire under the Salian dynasty. Charlemagne made pretty well sure of that. Huh. This single tower just took on all... it is Lotharingia, but Lotharingia kind of stopped existing, which is a little bit unlucky. So it is a duchy in the... Actually, at this point, did it actually join West Francia? I don't remember if Lotharingia got gobbled up by by West Francia or East Francia, i.e. the Holy Roman Empire. It was definitely one of the two, but I don't remember which one. Paladins! Anyway. Why did the Saxon Navy attack me? Weird. Okay. Well, this is not scary at all. This kind of fortification, we can talk about that right now, is actually the only part that we've seen so far that is historically accurate, or more historically accurate. The wooden palisade formations with a central, well, something, is really the only legitimate part of this. At this time, Norman castles were of a type called motte and bailey. This is designed to be put up very quickly. The stone castle, like what you see right here, does not emerge until quite a lot later. Not unbelievably later, but somewhat later. Okay, but a modern Bailey Castle would basically be a earthen mound with a palisade around it, and then would also have a central tower surrounded by the palisade, and go from there. It's designed to be put up very, very quickly, and then be able to be moved very, very quickly. So William was able to build a whole bunch of castles in the first year of his reign, because he was just around doing that. And that was pretty much what he was focusing on trying to do, was just... Hang on. Everyone actually should stand ground. Then we will grab these guys, because these guys need to be running fast, killing the guy, and then running away. And then they run in, and they kill a guy, and they run away. Isn't this enjoyable gameplay? Okay, this is really just going around to the same team over and over and over. We are getting kills on them, luckily. It's so easy to cheese! Anyway, these guys can take on this guy. And these guys can also take on this guy. Hello. Cheese the AI! Cheese the AI! It's dumb that this works. Honestly, it's so very dumb. And I don't like doing it, but otherwise they're bad at taking out these by any other way, which is so frustrating. Like, it's hard to, for whatever reason, it's really hard for units to be very successful. Anyway. We've got all of these guys, though. All this cavalry. We're just gonna go all in on the attack while we're working on this cheese. Because we can just keep doing that. Keep cheesing, but slowly. Slowly start working on bringing in some battering rams to just finish this as quickly as possible. I don't know what city this is supposed to be honest. Like... Okay, could they actually, like, do the thing? Wow, look at how slow this team moves. Anyway, we can also build up some crossbowmen and a whole bunch of archers, though we have no money. Let's go over to our market and fix that. Sell some food, and sell a whole bunch of wood. Do we not have very many people working on gold? We don't. Make gold. Make gold. Okay. Better now. Wow, they're trying so hard. Sadly, like, the Frankish throwing axemen are really not going to continue being a threat. Everyone can just attack. Let's just have everything attack. Should burn down pretty quick, though I do want to go here and upgrade our siege engines. Cap rams, there we go. And we will set everyone's AI to aggressive, so they can all just slaughter everything as they feel like. There we go. These two will go take on this, and we have now crushed Kent. Aren't you proud of us? Which means we've actually already passed where Hastings is. Hastings is right here. So we've actually landed a little bit past Hastings, gone up, and done our thing. So at this point, historically, we are actually skipping ahead in the schedule a little bit, to be honest. Because, let me pull up the account of what happened afterwards. On hearing the death of King Harold, the Earls Edwin and Morcar, who with their men had withdrawn from the battle, came to London and taking their... Oh, I am so sorry, it appears to have crashed. The game appears to have crashed. This is rather frustrating. Let me reboot it. We will be right back. Okay. We should be right back. It should pick up right where I used to be, but that's frustrating. It's kind of lucky we have a save, actually. I can load the save instead of having to redo the whole thing. from last time, and we will try again. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Ooh, and you guys seem to be quite a bit behind me. Oh, we lost probably 20 minutes. Nothing too severe. And let me just make super sure that you guys can still see it. Yep. Oh dear. Please stop, please. Okay. Loading, 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 loading. With a very pixelated view. Okay. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Nope, these are all of our actual other options. Cancel. Let's pull this up. Little history, Hastings. Load game. So yeah, that was fortunate. Also deeply unlucky that the game just crashed with no warning. So, we should be back. We lose very little progress because in this, well, the biggest piece of progress we lost is that Harold Hardrada is still alive. Which is rather unfortunate, but William's out here. We've explored the coast here, and these things are getting trashed. Don't know if we'll actually finish these on time. I don't know if I have any ships. That's not mine. I seem to have, for some reason, all of my ships are up where it is immensely unhelpful. Cool. Cool. And we lose our paladins. That's fine, we can research that now. Do we have a market? We do have a market. We also just have a lot fewer guys. Hello? Where is our wood gathering? We are way behind on resources too, so that's kind of unlucky. Kind of really unlucky. Yes, quite. You can say that. I still don't believe him more on the second time than I did on the first. Cool, so that survived, which is pretty nice. We'll upgrade these to fast fire ships, and we will build another transport. We are also going to then load a bunch of our cavaliers here onto the transport, along with a villager, if I can manage it. And we're going to hop straight onto the Isle of Wight and get going on that front again. It's weird that I have so few villagers. Oh no, I am almost out of... That is actually quite bad. Yep, I am now at the population cap, which is unlucky, but we are about to build another... Here, where can these guys go fishing? There's lots of fish around here somewhere, aren't there? There's some out here. Go fishing there. Anyway. We can go... have a whole bunch of these guys, and then you can build a town center. Fine, I'll do it right there, while all my paladins guard it. Okay, we are back on track. Oh, these two are both done, so they will both now need to also become... Yeah, he says that. It's a dumb thing to do though, so we won't. And at the Battle of Hastings, William definitely agreed it was a dumb thing to do. In actuality, infantry in an organized formation does tend to be cavalry. The AI here is physically incapable of doing that, which is great for us, but also rather hilarious. Because they're incapable of doing that, cavalry ends up being incredibly overpowered in this game, but historically it was a lot closer. At the Battle of Hastings, William's cavalry generally was not all that effective for much of the battle. It was effective at the end, certainly, but through much of it, William initially tried doing some fairly larger scale charges, and wound up finding that that was pretty inadequate. Yeah, it basically did not happen. Realistically. Oh, amazing. Please be closer on that. And military buildings, castle. Castle. There we go. That gives me a bunch more people to do things. Oh dang, unlucky. So our dock's gonna break, but not really a huge deal. But we will say that like none of this is good. No, never mind. We win that fight too. I don't know how we win this fight, but you know, I take that. I take these fights. And mining camp. Right here. You help on that, and then hopefully they'll all do gold mines. So yeah, we wound up losing very little progress at the end of the day, which is really, really good. I'm glad I had that save. Anyway, so all that Roger of Hoveden says of the Battle of Hastings is that Harold would neither say that he was ready to comply with the one alternative, nor that he feared the other. The other being these two alternatives being in the previous paragraph here. Shortly after, King Edward departed this life, and as he had appointed previously to his death, Harold succeeded him in the kingdom. On this, Duke William sent him word that, although violating his oath, he had not observed his promise in other respects. Still, if he would marry his daughter, he would put up with what he had done. If not, he would without doubt assert his right to the promised succession to the kingdom by force of arms. But Harold would neither say that he was ready to comply with the one alternative, nor that he feared the other, at which, William being indignant, was inspired with great hopes of conquering England by reason of this unjust conduct of Harold. Having therefore prepared a considerable fleet, he sailed for England, and in a severe engagement taking place, Harold was slain in battle, and William, being victorious, obtained the kingdom. And we will now build a few more things. We can now obviously build a lot more here. So we'll build all four of our barracks, stable, archery, and so on. Oh, William is kind of alone here. We should load him up. And take him across so we can, you know, join. He enjoys participating. Additionally, let's take a look at our units over here. We have crossbowmen. We don't care about elite skirmishers, they aren't any good. We already have paladins, and let's get our 200 swordsmen, and we aren't ready to get halberdiers yet. Huh, what are all of our units? Oh, it's all these guys. Okay. And boats. We've got a lot of boats. So many boats. Our army of boats should go sink the other production site. Because we have more boats than we realistically know what to do with. Let's just make this a control 1. Anyway, so yeah, that's all Roger of Hoveden in the 13th century seems to care about saying what happened at Hastings. Other sources, of course, say a lot more. and the battle, it appears that initially William spent actually quite a bit of time trying to attack the Saxon forces head-on. I say Saxon here because that's just the terms the game uses. I don't actually like these terms to refer to early medieval England. Anglo-Saxon is a troubling term for a lot of reasons, and I don't actually like using it anymore. This is a trend a lot of academic departments are currently facing, with some reason. And I think it's a good thing that academic departments are moving away. But yeah, he originally tried to just head-on attack these forces, and it turned out to go really badly for him. Infantry are really good against cavalry as long as the formations hold. Once the formations break, it's kind of a whatever. They are not going to do well at all. But that's not really what's important. William wound up pretty much eventually giving up the idea of charging, and so he would have his cavalry run across, just out of reach of the English forces. And in so doing, would kind of just try and bait them into stepping out of formation so that his cavalry could turn and beat them. They definitely were able to turn very rapidly. That's something that training from the time period and from a little bit later seems to indicate is really quite popular. And so we have tournament accounts of basically these big long rows of feigned retreats. So someone runs in, then they retreat, and then they run back in, and then they retreat, and then they run back in, and then they retreat, and then there's tournament accounts of basically two tournament armies running at each other, and then turning around and running away. Yeah, full-on charges are very, very rarely successful. To be frank, one of the few times is in the First Crusade at Antioch, where the Norman cavalry charge just decimated the Seljuk forces. However, the reason for this is not due to... oh, gosh, sorry. Let me just double check, make sure that stayed sound. Apologies, I just want to double check, make sure that things did not move. Great. Great. Let's take out all these ships first. Hey look! There's a berserk by Harold Hardrada. So he seems to have gotten ahead of us a little bit. Because he is actually crushing already moved. Though he himself has not landed yet. So that's cool. We have all these forces here. And we have to build a siege engine workshop still. And we've got more people getting gold. Great. Oh, hello. You are a problem. And we break this, and then we are ready to move on to the next one here. Oh, hello. Look at all these guys trying to get on a boat. Silly people. Silly people. They all just sank because they all got on the boat before I sank it. How amazing. This is up by York, so this is actually closer, or maybe near where Stamford Bridge would be. Theoretically. With this super compressed geography, that's what's here, is Stamford Bridge. However, these guys are honestly probably not going to be around for super long, because they lose. They lose this fight. Anyway, well, looks like we had another fight here at some point. Don't know how, don't know why. No big deal. Hello, yes, you are still bad. Now, I expect that Haraldur will betray us once we get close to taking on Harold the Saxon, just because I suspect I know how this game works. Anyway, I was saying something about Antioch, wasn't I? At the Battle of Antioch, it was hugely effective to go in and just squish all of the... Actually, let me drop that one, because I have a... I can do that up here. I can do all the tech research here. So I've got that. And I don't need to upgrade them, and I don't need to upgrade them, and I can upgrade these guys up to champions. That works. And then we just have to build a few of these. And siege engines are working. They'll go up here. And we'll make some archers, just because. And that should give us pretty much all the forces we need to win. Anyway, at the Battle of Antioch, the reason the Seljuk forces were so decimated by a Norman cavalry charge is that they weren't ready for battle. They were not information to begin with, and so in infantry, they had no infantry square to be broken. And so the Norman cavalry was basically able to run all the way across the Seljuk camp with very little resistance. And then people in the modern age use that as an emphasis of, oh, look how great these cavalry are. No, it's not that they were great, it's that they got lucky. It's that they got super duper lucky. Hello, dude? You can mine somewhere else. Yeah. Cool. So much for that. These guys are gonna mine, they'll be my source of gold for the rest of everything. I seem to have relatively few people, doing anything. Nope, I don't want that. I want that. Let's get another farm, because I need more of those. Okay, now then, we've got this super force. Where's William? Did I put him on a boat and then never take him off a boat? That was risky. Jesus, I nearly threw so hard from that. Anyway, that fun bit of oopsies aside, let's get William into this team, and then they can just run over the rest of the southern England. Which, as I was saying before the game crashed, is just getting ahead of schedule. It's not actually doing something ahistorical, just being a little bit ahead of schedule. So, as I was saying, on hearing of the death of King Harold, the Earls Edwin, let me just keep reading this story. So William, having been victorious, took the kingdom. Some of the Franks still give an account of the circumstances of this battle who were there present. But although there are various chances of success on the one side and the other, still, there was such a great slaughter and disorder caused by the Normans that the victory which they gained must without doubt be ascribed to the judgment of God, who by punishing the crime of perjury shows that he is a God who abhors unrighteousness. On hearing of the death of King Harold, the Earls Edwin and Morcar, who with their men had withdrawn from the battle, came to London and taking their sister, Queen Algitha, sent her to the city of Chester. Aldred, Archbishop of York, and these earls, together with the citizens of London and the mariners, were desirous to make the Cleto Edgar, grandson of the King Edmund Ironside, king, and promised that they would fight for him. But while many were making preparations to go forth for battle, the earls withdrew their aid from him and returned home with their forces. In the meantime, Duke William laid waste to the provinces of Sussex, Kent, Southampton, Surrey, Middlesex, and Hereford, but did not cease burning towns and slaying men till he came to the city which is called Berkham, or Here Aldred, the Archbishop, Woolston, Bishop of Worcester, Walter, Bishop of Hereford, Lequito Edgar, Earls Edwin and Morcar, and 5 of the nobles of London, with many others, came to him and giving hostages, made submission, and took oaths of fealty to him. He also made a treaty with them, but in spite of it, allowed his army to burn the towns and plunder them. This continues until the Feast of the Nativity, i.e. Christmas Day, where he is coronated in London as King of England. So, this is exactly what we're doing. We are raiding in Sussex and Kent, and as such, are simply being a little bit ahead of schedule. We already won at Hastings, down here, clearly. We're past there, we won. Now we are raiding all of this. Brilliant. Hello? This is oddly slow. And all these guys, why are they not attacking? I know they can reach farther. You know, once the breaks, we'll have everyone just go down and attack this. And then they can rampage and burn the rest of Kent. So yeah, we are being exactly right. They have surrendered already, right? Right? And that's what all these things that still exist and haven't surrendered, that's what that means, right? Right. Definitely. Anyway, we are now burning the places all over because we can. Just cause. Theoretically, I think we can also probably build, end up building trebuchets at the castle, I think? Nope. Yes we can. Completely pointless thing to do, but you know. We will research this. Oh. Hey, he's actually lost that. Anyway, what's William doing? William's just hanging out. Awesome. How is he compared to my paladins now? 14, 4, 5 and 7, so 19, 7 and 8. So he still is better and has a lot more HP, but is getting a lot closer. And so much for the Saxon Navy. Minimal casualties on our end. Well done, everyone. We did the thing. We did the thing real good. Okay, so, having done that, sadly, you can see, well, Harold Hardra seems to have no interest in actually, like, doing anything. Given that, he is currently just standing in Norway doing literally nothing. And that's okay. We'll kill him in a little while. Actually, you know what? Screw it. All these ships that are just sailing up the River Thames and are generally not super useful, we'll kill them now. Here we go. All these ships are going to sail over this way, and they are going to kill Pearl Harbor. Oh wait, I'm diplomatically allied to him. Diplomacy. That's not diplomacy. Where is diplomacy? Objectives, chat. There it is. This is probably stupid. That's alright. I wouldn't be able to attack him. Let's see. What else is going on here? Not a whole lot, actually. Because the Saxon Navy is not doing much. And I just want to make sure that no one can possibly be a threat to us as we take on the rest of, Why is Saxon Navy attacking us? Are you kidding me, guys? You're all dumb. Here, we'll actually attack the gate instead of the wall. And everyone except these guys will guard one of these guys. There we go, now we have the actual forces. And they're getting absolutely trounced. Hello? Take on these guys, please. Don't just sit there taking damage. Don't just sit there taking damage. Anyway, where are all of... Did I already kill him? That's disappointing. How utterly disappointing. I completely missed it. Anyway, everyone except William will now go attack this. William will go take on this guy. Because that's what William does. Hello? Well, that seems to be a bug. Well then, this is pretty boring, honestly. Like, I don't even need to explore the rest of this. I'm just gonna keep... We'll send William off to explore while everyone else finishes the game, right? That's all we need to do. It'll tell us if anything too important happens. Anyway, while this is going on, I do want to remind people that if you enjoy this and want to support the channel, subscribing here and on YouTube is a great way to do that. Because right now, this is my only source of income, such as it is. Admittedly pretty small, but this is also going to continue for the near future thanks to the literal plague going around. So, due to that, I definitely intend to keep doing this as much as possible over the next few weeks, but that means this is what's buying me food. So if you want to help support that, please do consider it. It means a lot. Oh, cool. So here's the rest of London. That's the part I've been missing. This is actually fine. Something like this, with the castle town surrounded by a palisade, and then a gate, and then the castle, is essentially a motte and bailey structure. So this is actually kind of cool. This isn't how London looked at this time, just to be clear. Also, they did not have French accents at that point. Anyway, this super dangerous area, super dangerous because that's canon. Look at that, we win. Return to map. Let's take a look at the rest of this map, because, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of a double motte. Here's the bailey, here's the motte, here's the other motte. Pretty simple. Okay, so really all that was scary about them was these two things. And I guess this, but, like, whatever. And way up here, I'm not really sure what city this is supposed to be, but this must be where all the Husk girls were being made. That does explain why they were so comparatively strong, but they did a whole lot of nothing for this entire stream. Very cool, guys. So, yeah, that's this. We have Normandy here. As I said, I'm pretty sure this is too far for historical Normandy. Let me take take a look at that just to double check. Let me pull up a map. Medieval Normandy. See if I can't find a map of that. Nope, wrong place. Chrome. Medieval Normandy. Here we go. Yo, Chabot. Mont Saint Michel. Yo. Where it? Let's see how that worked. Yeah, it's nowhere near. The only way that this works, that this makes sense, is that hey, none of that works, because let me double check on that location. Chabot. Okay, that's what I thought. So, this is right. This is the end of Normandy. This is where the town of Cherbourg is now. And then we have the Isle of Wight here. This is correct. Wight is directly north of Normandy. So our whole map's, like, skewed, but otherwise fine. But that means, yeah, this whole area... Hey, back. With historical Normandy. Says that the town of Lillebon, I guess, it kind of works. Because if we assume the town of Lillebon is here, and then this is Mortemer, in modern French, Mortemer, then this all works. Kind of suspicious of this, though that does actually seem to be, that actually does seem to be what it's trying to do, is that this is supposed to be the far eastern edge of France, and then the River Seine, this is the River Seine. Oh, weird, there was some I didn't kill. That explains why they didn't surrender, there were like 2 of them left alive. 4 of them left alive? 4 of them left alive. Weird. But then it just, like, cuts. It cuts a long ways that we get into Flanders. Flanders should be then here, and then Denmark here. But there's a long ways between Flanders and Denmark that's not shown on this map. So it overrepresents the size of Normandy, and severely underrepresents the size of everything else. Also, this does help. That Calais, which is not founded in 1066, but, still exists, and is an important part, should be right here. Dover and Calais. That's too far, actually. Mortemer should be farther east than Calais. So, I'll revise that. That this here is supposed to be the Seine. So we have Cherbourg there, the Seine here, and then Calais would end up around here. Oh, okay, so yeah, Calais is in Flanders, not Normandy here. Okay. So then we have, like, Rouen here as the other thing. And then, yeah, we get into Flanders, up here, Calais, and so this is way out into the Holy Roman Empire. So I was right the first time. This is, in fact, a little bit past Aachen, and this would be like the Rhine. This river here should be the Rhine. So, yeah, rather severely overrepresented Normandy geographically. Good times. I'm not even sure why they did that. They honestly didn't need to. It's not like they had anything filling all this space. There's a whole lot of nothing here that they could have expanded on. But no, they just kind of skip all that, and then make Kent tiny, East Anglia huge, and London takes up like half the map for no reason. I don't know. The geography in Age of Empires 2 is always so weird. They get kind of close to the feel of it, and obviously like the intended strategy here. Taking a bunch of heavy cavalry, landing them here, and then crossing is fine. Like, oh, actually, I have another correction. This is not Hastings, this is Southampton. Hastings is this one. So, right close to Dover. And Canterbury, like, doesn't exist in this map, despite being important at that time already. So that's cool. Oh no, Canterbury did exist, sorry, we burnt it to the ground. That was the one right up here that we burned to the ground, was supposed to be Canterbury. So yeah, we did a good thing. We burned Canterbury, totally skipped Hastings, though razed it to the ground. And instead attacked through Southampton. It's so easy to break history in this, but by going through white, like designing it to go through white, that guarantees that would happen. Still, for a scenario lasting roughly from, we can say, like the 1st of January 1066 to Christmas Day 1066 when we got here, not bad at all. Let's head out of here.
Harold the Saxon's housecarls looked certain to defend the crown for him as they fought the Vikings to a bloody stalemate at Stamford Bridge. Despite his losses, Harold marched his exhausted troops south to meet William the Conqueror near Hastings. William's archers and pikemen were no match for Harold the Saxon's veteran housecarls. Harold even broke the charge of William's knights. William himself went down in the fray, and as rumors of his death spread, the Normans turned to...
This is all taken from the Frankish sources. This is all reasonable.
And he rallied his troops by throwing aside his helmet so they could see his clean-shaven face and know he was alive. William and his armored knights rode down the housecarls, breaking the Saxon force, and continued their ride all the way to London. William was crowned king on Christmas Day. Because his reign eventually ushered England into a position of unprecedented world established as the most famous day in English history.
Narrative is the try and draw links all the way from William the Bastard to really the British Empire is what it's referring to by unprecedented world leadership, is really talking the British Empire. Doing that is not good. Don't. There is so many things that change between William and the start of the Norman regnal line, which becomes the Angevins, which becomes the Plantagenets, which becomes the Tudors, which, yeah. There's several dynastic changes between these two events, and before you even get to the Tudors. And then you have the Stuarts, and then you have the line of Orange, and then it just keeps going. So it's not a good thing to draw a link as if William somehow creates a clean break, and directly from him you trace all the way down to the British Empire. This undersells early medieval England, it oversells the rest of it. The fact that this game does it is really kind of problematic. Anyway, we completely stomped them. I also dislike, though, that it said fighting Harold Hardrada to a bloody stalemate. That was a crushing English victory. Earl Tostig, Harold Godwinson's brother, and all-around annoyance to Harold's entire short-lived reign, was slain in that battle. Haraldur Hardrada was slain in that battle. So, not good. It was not a stalemate. It was in fact a victory. And then 3 weeks later, that was in September, and in October, on the other side of the country, Harold nearly beat William the Bastard. And then, the Frankish sources say that William got knocked down and took off his helmet to rally his troops. But, at the same time, seeing that the Norman lines had started to rout, the Saxon forces, under Harold's other brothers, broke ranks. And so, when they rallied, that famed retreat turned around and slaughtered the now broken infantry formation. And at that time, Harold Godwinson took an arrow through the eyeball, as shown on the Bayeux Tapestry, and that was that. No, the Bayeux Tapestry was not made in Bayeux, and is not a tapestry. Just for everyone's reference. Okay, units killed. Well, we almost got every star there. Economy. We did everything. Oh wow, okay. So this is a thing. No one was actually collecting resources except us. And no one was even trying to do the rest of it except us. So, This was not... Honestly, I can't say that this was a super good scenario for these purposes. But it's over now, so that's something. Let's take a look at what else we can do with our time here. I don't think we have time to do an entire full thing, but we can at least take a look at some of the other ones around here. I can talk about them for a little while. The Battle of Tours. Saracen and Berber armies swiftly conquered Spain and now marched north into Frankish heartland, as Charles the Hammer Martel lead Frankish warriors in a desperate defense of your homeland. That'd be fun. Anyway, also, let's take a look at the campaigns around here. Just as some other options as to what the kind of things we can do. El Cid in the Taifa kingdoms, in Castilla Rio Diaz, Barbarossa for Frederick I, Barbarossa, Holy Roman Emperor, the Huns in the 4th century, Bari is, the Byzantine, and actually this is after Justinian's attempts to recover it. Okay. It's in Mongol, in Bulgaria. Okay, this is in Bulgaria. Fighting against the Mongols, another Mongols. Attila the Hun. We may do Attila the Hun at some point. That would be fun, just to try and do all of that campaign. Actually, you know what? We've only been going for 2 hours. That's a little short for this. So, what do you guys think? For the two of you here, do you guys want to keep seeing this? We can definitely call it for a day and do this some other day. Otherwise, we could start doing the first scenario or two of the Attila the Hun campaign. If I do that, I'll bring down the stream to change the title and to create a break in the VODs so that I can upload separately, but then we'll be right back. And if we're gonna stay, I'll make sure to announce that to see if we can get some more people in. Okay, that's one vote for continuing. Awesome. Well, that's 50%, so, let's do it. I'll bring down the stream for just a moment then, in order to create a break in the VODs, and we will be right back.